Hello Dev, what's going on? Welcome back to WebDev channel. In today's episode, we're gonna learn how to create from scratch and step by step this navigation drop-down menu with Flexbox. Basically, we have this logo on the left, and on the right side our menu. We also have this hover effect to show the users some interactivity, and of course our drop-down menu. As you can see, we also have a hover on it, change the background color when you hover over it. Stick to the end of this video, because by doing that you'll be able to make it by yourself. Hey, if you're new here and you want to increase your web dev skills, subscribe and click that little bell down below so you get notified every time I post a new video. Alright, let's start really from the beginning, okay, from scratch, step by step. We have this background and also this logo, okay, and let's create our files in structure. The first one, let's create our index.html for our content layer. And for our presentation layer, let's have a style.scss, okay? This time we're gonna be using Sass because it's organized and easier, okay? It's like CSS with superpowers, okay? Let's create our boilerplate here, hit exclamation and tab. Let's go to the title. In the title, let's say something like Simple Dropdown Menu, okay? Now we go to the body. Now we're gonna create our presentation layer, okay? Let's use Emmet. We're gonna have a div nav, the class is gonna be nav. Our another list, okay? The class is gonna be nav list. And a couple of allies, okay? This one, ally, is gonna be the class of nav list item, okay? And we want 5 of them. Inside this one, we need a couple of anchor tags, okay? Because it's a navigation. So we're gonna have a href point nowhere, we hit tab, and it's done, okay? If you want, you can use the regular way, or you can pause and learn how to use Emmet, okay? This is gonna save you a lot of time. We have the markup for our navigation list, okay? Now let's apply some names here, okay? We're gonna have a about, and right after this one, we're gonna have the work, and here the last one, contact, okay? About the first one, let's change this one. Instead of list item, it's gonna be the list logo, and we're gonna get rid of this one, of this link. Instead of this one, we're gonna have a picture, okay? So the tag img, and let's point to our picture, okay? Logo png, and as you can see, we have this so far. Now we're gonna create a drop-down list for the about and work, okay? Let's come down here and let's have another list. The class here is gonna be nav list item drop, of course, because it's our drop-down menu, okay? And inside this one we need 3 allies. So let's say times 3, and inside this one, couple of anchor tags pointing nowhere. All right. And in here, you say whatever you want. Let's say, for example, our theme. You can see on the left, I'm saving, and you can see on real time. And let's go to the last one here. And this one, let's say history. Okay. Now we move to the work. All we have to do is copy this one, copy the full URL, okay, and let's paste that here in the work. We need just 2 of them here, so let's delete the last one and make a couple of changes in the names. This one here is gonna be portfolio, the portfolio we're doing right now with our videos, okay, and showcase, okay. So we have our drop list. Now let's jump into the CSS where the magic happens. Let's start by changing our font. Let's use the Montserrat from Google Fonts, okay, it's quite simple. And let's just paste it here, okay? It's that simple. Until now, nothing changes. So let's have some variables, okay? Because every time you want to change the colors, you don't have to go to every line and do that there. You can do everything here, okay? You can change the branding and everything. And the second thing we always do, we have our CSS reset, okay? We want our page to be the same across different browsers. So let's start by setting box sizing to border box. We also want to get rid of this margin and padding, okay? So margin is gonna be 0 and padding also 0, okay? As you can see, no margin and no padding. And next we're gonna select the body, okay? Let's set the height to 100 VH, okay, the full screen. Let's pick a background, let's use a picture, okay, there is a link down below so you can download the same picture if you want, okay. As you can see, we have a picture here, but right now it is huge, so we can use cover here, but let me do the simple way, okay. So background size cover, as you can see the full picture is here, but there is another thing we can do. We can back position center, and now we are right in the center in the middle of our background, okay? It looks much better. And down here, now we are gonna use the font from Google Fonts, okay? That one that we just picked from them. So font family, Montserrat and sans serif in case of something goes wrong. Alright, that's all for the body. Now let's grab the nav, okay, the class navigation. First of all, let's pick a color that fits our project. In this case, background color, let's use our primary color, my bluish color. For the position, we also want this one to be fixed, okay, always on the top. As you can see, we have a problem here with the width, so let's make a change. The width now is 100 VW, okay, the full width. And let's also apply some box shadow, okay, 0 offset, 10 pixels blur, and let's pick a color. In this case, the gray 300. Alright, as you can see, we have a little bit of shadow. Alright, we have another issue like web dev always do. Okay, the color we can't read, now we can, it's white. And now let's move into the another list UL, okay? The class is list. Please allow me to show you. And down here you have this UL, the class nav list, okay? Let's apply a couple of rules here. First of all, the display is going to be flex, putting horizontally, okay, side by side from left to right. And let me give you some more real space so you can see. And here, justify content flex and put the content right on the right, align item center along the cross axis. Let's apply a gap of 2 rem, okay. And one more thing here, let's apply a margin of 0, top and bottom, and 2 rem. So far, so good. Now we're gonna deal with our logo, okay. We wanna put that on the left and also change its name. And first, let's get rid of this bullet point. So list style here is gonna be none. So let's say goodbye to that bullet point. And for the margin, auto, okay? So you put it right on the left, okay? All the way down to the left. The cursor is gonna be pointer, okay? So the user knows that he can click on it. Once he clicks on it, he can go back to the home of the page, wherever you want. Let's grab the image. Let's give a width of 80 pixels. As you can see, much smaller. The height is going to be auto. And we also want to apply some padding, okay? It's very close to the borders. So padding 3 pixels, and you have a much better effect right now. Alright, and now is the time we wanna set rules to our allies, okay, and item. Remember, this is our allies. And we're gonna get started by getting rid of those ugly bullet plates, okay? So they are no longer here, as you can see on the left. The second step here, we are gonna, okay, as you can see, no longer here. The font weight here is gonna be bold, so it's very easy for you to read. The position is gonna be relative because you're gonna have some pseudo class that is gonna be absolute, okay? Let's apply a padding of 1.5 rand top and bottom and 1 rand left and right, and start looking better. A cursor pointer, let's set to pointer. Our menu is done. Now let's select and style our submenu, okay, our drop down menu. As you can see, is this one, has the class of nav, this item, drop, okay. So let's go back here to our SCSS and let's select and drop. The first thing we should be doing here is position. We want that to be absolute to its parent, okay. From the top is gonna be 4 rand. From the left is gonna be -1 rand. And down here, box shadow, let's apply the same thing, 0, 0, 5 pixels blur, and let's pick the gray color, okay? As you can see, we don't have a color in here. Let's apply some color, okay, some background color. Let me type here, background color. Let's use our primary dark, okay, a little darker. Let's apply the same body radius, that one that we have in our variables, okay. So body radius is pretty much the same. Let's apply a width of 12 rand, okay, depending on what you want, you can make it bigger or smaller. Let's apply a padding, 0.75 rand all the way around. And for the layout, it's gonna be a flex, okay, but that put in side by side horizontally. We don't want that, so flex direction, let's change that to column, okay, so they stack on the top of each other. Let's apply some gap of 0.5 rand. Okay, now we're gonna select the allies itself. Let's get rid of these ugly bullet points. Let's apply some padding, 0.5 rand top and bottom and 1 rand left and right. As you can see, we have more space here, it's much better now. Let's apply some body radius, the same one we have into our variables, okay, up there. So body radius. And another thing here, let's apply some transition, because we want, when you hover over this, we want to change the color, okay? So background color, transition of 200 milliseconds, easy in, out, okay? Another thing we should be doing here is, let's see if you can find a better color here, okay? Let me see this one, E7, F6. Let's give it a save, and let's get rid of this ugly text decoration none, and we no longer have that underline, but the color is not good, so let's go back to white, okay, looks better. We have a transition up there, transition name, background color, but we don't have the transition yet, so let's create that, okay, and hover, and also end the focus. And what we're gonna do here, we'll get the background color and change to this one, hover. Let me show you. And now every time you hover over this one, the user is gonna see this nice hover effect, okay? It shows some type of interactivity. And the next step we're gonna create on the menu. As you may know, my friend Dev, we don't want to show this all the time, okay? Just when you hover over the menu. So opacity here, let's change that to 0 and visibility hidden. So you no longer see it. Let's apply also a transition of opacity. Let's apply the same time here. It's going to be 200 milliseconds. And it's going to be easy in out, okay? So you'll no longer see it just when you hover over these menus, alright? We just hide our submenu, okay, our drop down menu. And now let's make the trick and make it come back, okay? Let's come here to the item. Let's select the UL on the list. Hover. And focus. UL. And as you can guess, opacity, we want it back to 1. And visibility, we want it to be visible. And now it should work. Let's give it a try. I hover over this one, and as you can see, it's working. Okay, nice. Let's see if our hover on the color is working too. Okay, we hover over this one, and we have this change the background color. So it's working nice. Last but not least, we want to create a nice hover effect or menu so the user knows that he is hover over this one. He has some interactivity. So let's use the pseudo class after. The content is nothing. Let's start with the width of 0. This is gonna change. Okay, when I hover over this one. The height is gonna be .3 and let's create a border here, border radius. Okay, is the same. The position is gonna be absolute. Okay, and I want to create a border here. Okay, because if you cannot see, you cannot apply some style. So this is what we are creating right now. Okay, there is a pixel, solid orange, and you can see what you are creating. Left here is going to be 1 line. As you can see, it's here on the left. We want that below the names. So the bottom, let's bring it down, .8 rem. As you can see, now it's under the words. And let's also, of course, apply background color. Okay, it's going to be the same one on hover. All right. Let's also apply transition. A transition is going to be applied to the width. That's what we're going to be changed. 200 milliseconds. Easy in out. Okay. Looks like we no longer need this one. You can see now. I'm going to change the width and show you what's going to happen. Okay. If I change this width to, for example, let's say 50%. Yeah. We have half of this. Let's change to 69%, and yeah. Is that crystal clear? Looks like you got the idea, okay? So now let's create a hover that's gonna do that for us, all right? Every time the user hover of this one, it's gonna change, okay? And hover after, okay, and also all focus after. We want the width to be 70%. And that's it, the project is done. I really hope you like it. If you like it, you know what to do. Subscribe and click that little bell down below so you get notified every time I post a new video. Bye bye, see you in the next one.